in this session here, and then you'll be able to log in to our Consultant Learning Center and be able to watch this again for any questions you might have as we go through this. And then don't hesitate to throw something in the chat box right there if you have a question, and I'll go ahead and answer that while we're talking here. But one of the main things that people get into business for, obviously, is to make money and to maximize their time. You know, we can all get a job working for somebody else, but when we really want to get serious about taking control of our lives, taking control of our time, we try to find something that we think is going to benefit us. It's going to fit what we need. And you know, when I look at things a little bit differently than a lot of people probably do, because for me, it's all about being inside of a time box. Okay, so we have 24 hours in a day, and that day is going to make up our goals for each day. We obviously look at that and say, today, this is what I'm going to try to accomplish. This is what I'm going to try to do, right? The problem with that is that most people are not efficient enough and effective enough inside those 24 hours to really benefit from it. And so what we've done with Saponify Naturals is we've made an effective and beneficial way to maximize your day without you having to put forth a great deal of energy and effort. You always have to put forth any effort in order to do anything that's going to benefit you. But you know, the key to this whole thing is to understand that we're going to maximize that time, and we're going to try to find a way that we can really do something well, and move forward. And so you'll see that this here, it says time is 24 hours a day. Income is the money you make divided by your time, and then your profits are income and expenses. And what I mean by income here is there's 24 hours in a day. If you take the average job, okay, and you look at your average job, you say our most precious resource is time. So you get somebody who has an average job, works 40 hours a week. Let's say I think the national average is $24 an hour. And you know, it's a really simple concept. You work 40 hours a week for somebody at $20 an hour, you're going to gross about $800. That's before taxes. And so you realize that there's 160 possible hours here. Hang on just a second. And that didn't quite roll through the way I wanted it to. So you have 20 hours each week, gross $800. You work 24 hours a day potentially, 7 days a week. You obviously have to sleep. We'll get into that here in a minute. And so we use Bob as an example. 160 hours a month of a possible 720. So he uses 22% of his time, okay, for his job. Now, one of the things I can tell you is that 720 workable hours sounds a little bit unrealistic for a lot of people because you have to sleep. You know, all these things have to be done. But I personally value my time very well. So I've created this situation here for us in the Saponify Naturals world so that you can make money even when you're not working, and that you can really benefit from this. And so you can take that 22% efficiency that most people have in their life, regardless of what you do. And some people actually are on the other end of that. They're not as efficient because they get paid for 40 hours a week, but they're salaried, so they have to work 50 and 60 hours. And so they're really being monopolized, and they're being taken advantage of on that side of it. So somebody else is getting their time while they're getting robbed. Does that make sense? And so what I tell everybody here, and what's good to understand about everything, is we're going to build a profile for a Saponify Naturals consultant based on what the national averages are. So the average show that we would have for anybody is about $350, and that's the national average for all shows, events, or parties from every brand of party plan there is out there. And we're going to assume that consultant is going to do 3 shows per week, okay? And so those 3 shows are going to be the hours and time that you're going to invest per week into trying to be successful. And we will also say that he or she is going to be a qualified consultant, or in other words, they've sold $1,000 worth of products to be moved to the 30% commission from 25%. And we're also going to determine that at this point, she doesn't have any personally sponsored team members at all, okay? And so she's just selling the product. She's not into it yet, really to to grow the business in a way that she would maximize her time and effort and energy. She's just selling products, okay? Okay, so we've established the basic parameters of what that consultant's gonna have here. All right, the $350 show, the 3 shows a week. It's a bare minimum kind of thing. So she's going to average $315 from her 30% for the entire 168 hours a week. Okay, and remember, we are comparing this as an example of somebody who works 40 hours a week at $20 an hour, and this is clearly different. You know, and it's only because of the example I gave you. So why would this be so much different in this scenario than somebody who's working 40 hours a week? Now, granted, the person that's working for Saponify only made $315 versus the other person, you know, who's working 40 hours and made $20 per hour. And so the key to understanding why this is so vastly different is because our consultant did it in 12 hours, okay? 12 hours worth of work. That's it. That's 4 hours a show from beginning to end. So that is a 6% use of time, all right? Now, are you confused about the whole time thing? Because if you are, I want you to plop that off down here in this chat box so that I can make sure that you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about here. And so if you look up here, it says, you know, 6% use of time. So the other person's working 40 hours a week, and they're being 22% efficient with the time that they have available to them. You're working 12 hours a week, and you're using 6% of your available time, making $315 on that, okay? And that's the beauty of this system. 24 hours is a day. And so if you take all that time and you look at it as an opportunity or benefit to maximize your effort and energy, you have potentially 67% of a day that you can make money with. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be doing it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to actually say, okay, well, I'm going to be the one making all the phone calls. I'm going to go do all the shows, physically be there. You don't have to do that. This mold is not a typical job. That's what's beautiful about it, is that you don't fit inside of that mold. And so if you have a job right now where you're working 40 hours a week, that's fine. You can plug this right in there, put forth 6%, 12%, 24%, and I'm going to show you on another slide how that really works and how that can potentially come out for you. And these are the great things about this, because all the numbers that I have on here are from realistic, present, current party plan structures that exist, and ones that are from the past that we've been involved with, Debbie's been involved with, and all these numbers are duplicatable. And that's the beauty of this. And part of that whole deal with maximizing your time and looking at the effort and energy that you're putting into it is that not everybody has the ability. Not everybody has the knowledge to do this. So we've taken all that guesswork out. And all you have to do is plug into what we're telling you to do, try to duplicate what we tell you to do, and just be diligent, put forth the effort, and you'll see the results. And you'll be more efficient with your time. You'll see that what 6% might yield you, it takes somebody else 22 and 30% of their time to do, because they're not following the same principles or the same systems that we do. And that's all about time management and energy and effort. Because time is key, and that's the most valuable resource that we have to work with, okay? We're a commodity. Our energy and our efforts, that's all the commodity, but the time is the resource that we have to use, and we're given a finite amount of that. So we need to maximize that to the best of our abilities and the best of our capabilities to make sure that we're getting the most out of what we're trying to accomplish here. And not everybody's goals are going to be the same, okay? I'm not saying that everybody wants to be, a gazillionaire and put forth that type of effort. Some people have simple reasons that they want to, do the Saponify Naturals. Some people just love the products. Some people find it very, very humbling and to help people, and that's what we offer, is we have products that can help people. But with our replicated website, our back office, the popularity of the social media shows like Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter, we see a national spark in the online shopping and sales in the ballpark of 36%. So if you were standing outside a store and you watched 100 people walk by, 64 of them are going to go into that store and shop. The other 36 are going to buy online. And that's the benefit, is you have both of those. You have both of those options for you. And you can have multiple shows on the social media side while you're doing shows in someone's home. So at any given point in time, you could have 10, 15 shows going on if you manage it right, and you understand how to duplicate that through your time processes, and that's really the key. But what people don't know is there's some statistics that go along with that. Is the average person that walks into a store spends about $991 per person per year when they shop, while the online shoppers are spending between $1,600 plus in their shopping. Okay, and so getting them to your replicated website and having them shop versus having shows in the home, there's benefits and there's a disadvantages to both of those. But we're going to talk about that as well. And so here you go, 24 hours in a day. The key to that is making sure that you're utilizing all of your capabilities of getting those people to come. And 24 hours to wealth is a continuation of that. And that's what I want you to think about is when I populated the stats on this page, I looked at a lot of different things. One of those things is that we used to be involved in other party plans in the past. And we've put together a little bit of the best of everything, I think, here. And one of the things I find to be intriguing to me is that even if you're somebody that just does this to add a little bit of extra income to the family, and you're looking for a way just to do that, doing 2 shows a week, okay, right here, putting forth 3%, if you look over here to the side, you're putting forth 3% effort and energy on the available time per week, or per month actually. You're spending 20 hours a month of the 720 available hours, you're spending 3%. And you're still making $720 plus, and that's pretty impressive. Just putting in 20 hours a week, that's a considerable amount of money. You're well north of $30 an hour if you want to look at it from that aspect or that standpoint. I don't ever look at things that way. What do I make an hour? That's irrelevant to me, because what I make per hour is just what I make per hour. If I work 8 hours somewhere, that's just what I make. But for those 8 hours, that's what I made. Well, what about the other 14 hours or 16 hours that I potentially could have to be making money, whether I have to do it personally or not? And those are the keys to the car. This is the vehicle. You use your effort and energy and time and plug into this, and it shows you right here what you could potentially do. As you see on the side, you could escalate this. Escalate this up just a little bit, and you'll see that there's a lot of possibilities in what you can make. You look at the 3 here, and you come over here and say, if I just did 3 shows a week, I could potentially make $1,356. All because, in 32 hours at 4%. That's 32 hours a month. We're not talking about a week here. We're talking about a month. Now that, for some people, are like, oh, that's just crazy. There's no way you could do that. And the reality of it is, yeah, there is, because we did it. We're living proof that it can be done. We've done it. We've been in this situation where we've had the 3 parties. We've even had 7 parties before, making more money than this right here because of the duplication process that we'll talk about a little bit later. And you're still only putting forth 11%, of your effort and energy on the time that's available to you. And that's what we're talking about. You ever heard? Has everybody heard the statement, "The early bird gets the worm"? I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably heard that. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And so the early bird gets the worm, and that's the key to this. Well, the person who manages their time the best gets the worm. You guys are all at the beginning of this company. You're at the beginning. You're at the front end of this ground level opportunity. And so when you start talking about looking at opportunity, looking at time, looking at what you can do, and what your abilities could potentially be for growth, they're endless. If you put forth a little bit of the effort and energy I'm talking about here, and again, this is only at the 30 percentile range of commissions. And this is the average for everybody, because you start at 25 and you work your way up. And that's going to be one of the things that we'll talk about a little bit more here as well. And so does anybody have any questions up to this point? Because if you do, you can toss those in right here at the chat box, or just tell me. We're going to have a question and answer session towards the end of this. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands the concept of my 24-hour theory, because it's really important, and it works really well. I have used this theory for the last 10 years of my life, and it's helped me be very effective. It's helped me quadruple in our business, and I think that that's one of the things that you have to look at. Let's just say you do have a 40-hour a week job, and that you work, and you supplement your income, and by doing so, you can do this, but putting in these 3, 4, 6, 8% of the energy on that 720 hours that's available, you're going to be much further ahead than everybody else because you're not allowing yourself to be idle. In the ability for you to do this and make money, whether it be online, whether it be in a show, regardless of what it is, then this is a statistic that's true and numbers don't lie. All right. And what I mean by that is if you do, let's just go right here. We'll go here to start. You do, 5 shows a week. Now that's every day, right? You can say, well, my gosh, that's every day. I can't go to people's homes every single day of the week. Well, you don't have to, because you can do 2 or 3 shows in the home, or 2, and the other 3 can be done online. You can have live Facebook events. Those don't take that much time away from you. They're 30 minutes of your time each day. Just to go on there and just get people excited about it at the beginning, do mystery hostess events, whatever those may be, and get people excited about it. And you can do 5 and multiply your time. Think about that. It's like compounding interest. The more irons you have in the fire that you're tending to, the more potential you have to reach numbers like this right here, at 8%, 56 hours a month. I have, sometimes I sleep and I think about this. What can I be doing in my sleep to make money? And so we have multiple streams of income. We have the internet. Well, you guys have the internet. We have the ability to sell to people directly, face to face. Well, you guys have that as well, okay? And you have your personal sales. Well, then you got the duplication process. Other people going out and doing the exact same thing that you do right here. That's all going to give you what I'm talking about in multiple streams of income. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, okay? And there's other streams of income inside of this right here that we'll get into a little bit later. So again, I'm going to pop this open every so often to make sure that somebody doesn't have a question in here. But please feel free to drop a question in the box right here. Okay, I'll make sure that I see it, and I'll make sure that I talk about it, so that I want everybody on the same page with this when we go through it. And so I know Debbie's having trouble with her microphone, and so Debbie, please use the chat box here at the bottom if you have any questions or any concerns. Okay, just to make sure that we have everything going right. And hello back, Debbie. So I have this one right here asterisk for a reason, okay? Because the numbers here are pretty big, and people have often said, well, Shane, I don't know that that's a realistic goal, right there. And all I can tell you is it's more than realistic, because I know I can count probably on both hands and both feet how many people I personally know that did this every month, no problem. They had these kinds of sales every single month, no problem, and it was just one company. Now think of the hundreds and hundreds of companies out there that have sales like this. It's more than attainable. And so if you look down here at the bottom, it says, what could you do with an extra 54% of your time each month, not grinding out at a job? Now, how do I come up with 54%? Well, you're going to be sleeping for roughly 240 hours every month, okay? So 8 hours of sleep a day times 30 days is 240 hours. And you subtract that from 720, and that gives you your 54%, okay? And if you can utilize 54% of your time and maximize that effort and energy, then you'll be surprised at what you get and what the results will be. This is like investing in the stock market without having the risk, okay? Because the only thing you put at risk is your time. And I think that's the key here, is you have to have the confidence and you have to be willing to go after and put forth the effort and energy to take advantage of the time. Manage the time right, and you're there, okay? And so continuing on that, you'll see here that it says it's not real, a lot of people don't do $9,600 in a month in sales, okay? But the key is to maximize that is understand that 24-hour theory. You work 90 hours a month with Saponify Naturals and put forth the type of energy, you're going to average $5.40 an hour in a 24-hour day. Yeah, the average right now for an average person is somewhere in the ballpark of like $2.15. And that's because they are not getting that 54%. And if you maximize that, you'll see what I'm talking about. The 90 hours you spend versus a full-time job of 160 to 200 hours, and that 200 hours also is including some overtime. A lot of people that are salary, and I was a salaried person for a long time, I can tell you from personal experience that I worked 70-plus hours a week for a company that paid me for 40. And so I was giving them 30, 60, 90, 120 hours of my time, effort, and energy every single month that I was not being compensated for. And that, unfortunately, was if you take what you make and you break that down by the true hours that you work, you realize that you're no better off than whether you were sitting at McDonald's flipping hamburgers, okay? And so that's really the key here, is understanding that dynamic, the difference, the crossover between what you make and what you really make, all right? What is your time worth? Well, I know for a fact that when Debbie and I talk, Debbie is always thinking about what her time is worth. If I do this, I need to do this to be able to accomplish this. And she's always looking at the time, that time frame is key to her. Debbie has always been really, really efficient and very proactive about using her time. She gets up early in the morning and gets to work, and she doesn't, she can get done a lot faster than a lot of people, because a lot of people wait till 9 and 10 o'clock to try to get out there and do things. And so for me, I always think that why not just get it done in the time that we have available to us to make money and to be successful? Because I'll tell you, the number 8 right there is also qualifies for a leadership bonus, okay, of $500. And so you put that on top of the money that they'd be making. It's like $3,600, I think. Now they're making over $4,000 for 90 hours worth of work. Now you show me where you can do that for 90 hours worth of work, and maybe we'll find another route or something. But I don't know that there is another way to do that. And so there's a few reasons why I look at each day as 24 hours. And the first is that you have a website that, like I said, you have multiple streams of opportunity here, multiple streams of income potential that you have on this. And so think about your day as 24 hours. And you can take the 8 hours out for sleep if you want to. So you say take every day for 16 hours if you want. However you want to look at it, that's fine. And then you say, okay, if I can get a show each day, whether it's in front of people, online, or whatever, and I can get that 5 or 6 shows a day or a week or whatever. You have seven days in a week. And you're going to give people time to close their shows and to do things like that. But you got to book. Book shows can be going that you can collect in 3 days. You can have your online events going. You can have your in-home shows going, and those in-home shows are going to be effective for sponsoring. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in this training session. But I am not aware of any other plan out there that can bring this type of thought process to the direct sales market, and to be able to help you be successful with it, and understanding how to break this down to utilize all those tools to be successful with Saponify Naturals. Because we want everybody to be successful and prosperous, and we want everybody to be able to utilize the system and be able to maintain the type of direct contact with your customers that you're going to be able to do and feel comfortable with. And they'll feel comfortable with. We don't want you to overstimulate your customers, but we want you to also make sure that you keep them included. And so here's something I'm going to touch on. This is big. It's something that Debbie and I talk about a lot, because she was really big on this with a few other companies that she worked for in the past, and she's a big benefit for us here, because she understands this concept. And I'm going to try to get it right, and I'm sure Debbie's going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong, but I'm going to try to get this right for you. And so you see that little red dot or orange dot there at the top that says you, okay? And so one of the things about you is you have an entire month. And, we have a $300 minimum, okay, to get your overrides and bonuses on the people that work for you. You can build a business that way. But most people that are in the position usually don't do anything less than about $1,000 in sales a month, and that's not real hard to do. That's about $250 a week, okay? But if you teach 3 people to duplicate what you do, okay, and they duplicate that every month, which isn't hard to do, all right, then you're going to have 3 people in your front line that are going to be doing $3,000. And you're going to have more than that, trust me, because you're going to want to build as wide as you possibly can and get as many people involved in the company as you can, because you want them to be successful in their life too, and that's what we want. But then those 3 people need to be able to do exactly what it is that you did. They need to go out and they need to find other people that are like them, that have like-minded goals, and that are interested and eager to offer their customers and the people that are friends and family our products. And our products are some of the best out there. We have some of the best natural skincare that's available in the market. And as far as I'm concerned, it is the best. But we make it, so that's a little bit biased. But if you can get the second level, your first level, to do the same thing with your second level, now you have 9 people generating $1,000 and doing the same thing with 3 more people. And so you can see the power of 3 and how amazing it is and how quickly it compounds. And the compounding portion of this is exactly what we talk about. And this is kind of key to the whole thing here. So if you see that as it perpetuates, your second levels, 9 people at $9,000, and they're each sponsoring 3 more people. Your third level then gets to 27 people and $27,000 in sales. And so you can see a balloon. You're at 1,000, then 4,000, then 13,000, and then you're at 40,000. And by the time you get to the 4th level, and they've duplicated this process, now you have 81 people, which technically would be in your 4th level, and $81,000 in sales on that level, okay? And then you just slide over here to the 5th level, and that's as deep as we pay. Excuse me. Now, on the 5th level, if all those 81 people do the same thing and duplicate, 243 people doing $243,000 in sales, and as you can see, as that bolsters up, you're going to make, and this is something that's been done inside of 9 months, okay? There has been people that have accomplished this in 9 months. And let me tell you, this is key, and this is important, because with this being a ground floor opportunity, 9 months right here is more than attainable. Remember, you just need to work right here, okay? And tell them how important the power of 3 is, and let them understand how important that power of 3 is in creating leaders and finding the people that want to be leaders and want to be successful. And they're going to go out and they're going to do the same thing, and then pretty soon they're preaching the same thing and talking about the power of 3 and the products of Saponify Naturals and why this company is such a great company, okay? And when you become a diamond consultant, the sweet part is you're going to make $6,620, okay? Just at the bare minimum, with these people doing the bare minimum. And then we're not even talking about other sales that aren't $1,000 that are built into this. I'm just using the power of 3 complex as the deal here, okay? And, your $1,000 you sold on this added into this, $6,620. You would have 363 active consultants in your downline in 9 months, okay? Now, some people will take them longer. Some people might be able to accomplish that much quicker. But I can tell you this for sure. 9 months, it's been done, and it's been done in ground floor opportunity, and that's what you have here. You're in a ground floor opportunity company. And so we want everybody to be able to take advantage of this opportunity now. The first probably 50 or 60 people that get involved in Saponify Naturals at the beginning of this are going to have this chance. They're going to have this opportunity. Once it gets past about 50, maybe even up to 100, I'd say, because we have people in other states too. And it takes a lot to grow a company to plateauing and to saturation. That's 10, 12, 15 years down the road. You guys are all right now, the ones that I have on here, at the front end of this. You have the ability to do this, okay? Any questions on that?
Sorry, I know I'm quiet, but I'm listening.
Okay. So we have, we're going to talk a little bit more about the power of 3 here as well, and hopefully, Debbie can interject anything to me. She can type it in the box there, and I can add it in. But again, like I said, by teaching each person that you come in contact with the duplicates, and not everybody's going to be able to do this. And there's a great thing. I saw, Debbie just said, and let me pull this back up there again because that's key. Debbie said, I saw it happen for many people in my past life, at my past company. I know it can happen. What these products are so great is going to happen, and she meant to say products there, and it is, and that's the key, guys, is we do have the best products on the market. We make every single thing from scratch. It's all natural. When we make this product, we make it specifically to help people. We don't make it just because it smells good. And you can go on and look at all of our reviews and things that we have available, even through our other company, Amish Country Essentials, and you can see the value in this, okay? And the reason why we started Saponify Naturals is because we wanted to help people have the same success and have the same opportunities that we did with the company that we started. And we want to make sure that everybody has access to the same product. But the beautiful thing is the Saponify Naturals is different. We have created a whole different purvey of product lines for Saponify Naturals to make it separate from our company, but at the same time, it can stand on its own. It can go up against any company out there, product for product. Our price points are incredible. Okay, go out there and find me another direct sales company that has the price points and capabilities that we do. I don't think you're going to find it. And we have the grouping pricing in there. And here's the beautiful thing. There's still some products in our catalog that are offered that are Amish Country Essentials products that people have grown to love at the beginning of this. And so we still offer those. But here, once you reach diamond in our group, okay, and you promote another diamond, you will get a double override bonus on everybody under you. All right? Now, I want you to think about the power of that. And so your income is 400, your leadership bonus is 1,000, your overrides are $5,220, and then so your income there, I just showed you on the last page, is $6,620. Okay? Now, like Debbie attested, this is doable. I personally know people that were making 5 and 6 and 8 times this much money. All right? And so it's there. But now, your new income with a peer level in your group, okay? And now we don't break away people either. You keep these people in your group and you make money on them. We don't ever take anything away from this. We don't ever break it away. We don't do any of that. A lot of these other companies do that. Once you get somebody like that in your peer group, they pull them off your group and you make 1% on them forever or something goofy like that. Okay, we don't do that. And so think about it this way. So your income doesn't change. You did $1,000 in sales and you're making 40% because you're a diamond. You make $400. You still get your leadership bonus, $1,000. But look at your overrides. You doubled. They went from $5,220 to $10,440. Think about that. We're going to give you twice as much in overrides for promoting somebody and being a leader, okay? We want you, that's how invested in this we are for your success, is how much we're going to compensate you for going out here and building a business, teaching people to do what you do, and you know, the success is what we want. Look, if you go out here and do what I'm talking about here, and you do this in 90 hours a month, all right? Now, we'll flip back here a little bit because you need to see what I'm talking about here. 90 hours a month is 13% of your month, okay? Now, remember, most people are working 80% and 60+% on efficiency. Why in the world would you invest that much time for so little and have so much, have nothing? Look at the time you have with your family. Think of all the things you could do, the trips and the things you could do with your family that you can't potentially do right now. Think of you could potentially pay your mortgage off faster. You could do all sorts of things with this kind of money. And I want to personally write checks for $11,000 to somebody. And I mean, this is going to be a great thing when that happens. And I'm really excited about it. But I don't know anywhere else you can go and make that kind of money for part-time work. And the reason why I'm so confident that we're going to be able to do this is because we've already done it before. We have already been successful with this. We've already did this. This has been something that's been duplicated. This is one of the most powerful concepts that exists in the direct sales arena. But not a lot of people embrace this, okay? Embracing the power of 3 is the way that you're going to be successful, because it takes into context everything that I started this training session off with. And that's your time, your effort and your energy, the income streams, and everything that you need to be successful. And so basically the key to the power of 3 is sponsoring. All right, sponsoring. And the best way you can sponsor is to have your shows, your events, whatever you want to call them, parties, it doesn't really matter. And for every one person you talk to individually, you can compound that at your show, because you'll generally have between 8 and 10 and 12 people there. And now you got 10 people all in one shot that you're talking to about the opportunity, about the products, about why you like the company, about what made you do this, what made you join the company, and what your goals are with the company, and what you're trying to obtain. And so I have an example here. So tonight, Mary invited all of us to come in here and for me to show you all the value and benefits of Saponify Naturals brand of all natural skincare. You all can ask me 3 questions about what I do. Each question will get you auction bucks to use on our auction at the end of the show. Now, we can elaborate on that a little bit later about the auction. But this is an icebreaker to help you get the conversation started with everybody and be able to break the ice and say, listen, ask me 3 things about my company or what I do. Some people may say, well, I want to talk to you about how much money do you make? Well, I make about 30 to 40% at the show. Oh, how far do you travel to do shows? Some people might ask that question. We've heard that before. And we say, oh, I drove 45 minutes to come do your show tonight. Or I drove an hour to come to your show tonight. Or I drove an hour and a half to come here tonight, to spend tonight with you guys, to introduce you to Saponify Naturals and their great brand of products. All natural products. That's the key. Make sure people understand that. All natural products. because we do everything naturally. There's no chemicals, fillers, or anything in our products. But you know, they may ask you, so what is your favorite thing about the company? Well, some people may have different answers for that question. There's a lot of different things you can say. Some people would say, oh, I love the essential oils, because their essential oils, the pricing is so incredible for what you get. It's amazing. And their essential oils are all natural and organic. And they're non-GMO. And there's no fillers. If it says lemon oil, that's what you're getting is lemon oil. And so you have all these benefits and advantages you can talk about and be proud of the fact that the company you work for has your back. We spend a lot of time developing these products. We spend a lot of time with the packaging. We spend a lot of time in research and development and marketing, so that you don't have to, try to create a business on your own, and that you have all these tools you can plug right in. And so another way too is, last plug is, you have is with your hostess. After you close the show, you can say, hey, you know what, I got to tell you, this is a great show. You did $470 in sales tonight. So your benefits tonight are going to be $47. Now, right now, currently in the month of May, you have double hostess benefits. So she would have made $94 in free products, okay? You say, well, you know what, Mary, I earned 30% on the show. So tonight I made $141. And you would have made that just by doing what I did. Do you think that's something that you could do? Get that conversation started. Get her thinking about it, like, wow, that was pretty easy. What you did really wasn't that difficult. I can stand up and talk to people like that. Now, not everybody can do this, okay? But again, remember all the tools that you have available to you. The social media, the in-home, the book shows, things like that. Everybody has a comfort zone and a niche that they can get into. And you have to exploit that niche and that comfort zone and figure it out by just simply talking to people, by saying, hey, you know what? I can see that you talk really well to your friends or your peer group or whatever. What do you do for a living? Oh, well, I'm a social worker. Oh, my gosh. Heavens to Betsy, that's a great line of work to be in for something like this, because of all the people that they come in contact with. And so you have to think about that, too, when you're talking to people. And sometimes you want to qualify them as to what they do. And some people are disgruntled party plan or direct sales or from other companies. And you'd be surprised at how fast they're willing to look at something else when things don't seem to be going their way. So let's talk about some questions here tonight so far on this, because I know people have them. And no question is a bad question. And I want to punch these questions in here and type them in and save this. And I'm going to answer these questions, and they'll be available on our Consultant Learning Center with the answers. And so you can email me these questions. You can tell me, ask me questions now. We can talk about the answers now, but I'm going to post it on there. And so who has a question?
Do you have ability to do the Facebook parties now?
We do. Yep, so that's good.
Because I know Debbie mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. What's nice about that is, have you been in the back office yet, Jessica?
Just briefly, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of looked around on it and looked around.
Okay, so what I want you to do is, I'll put that question up here, number one, and I'll add that in there, and you'll be able to read the answer on our Consultant Learning Center. But log into the Consultant Learning Center and watch the training video, the first training video we did last week. And then you can fast forward to the section where we talk about creating the party and creating the Facebook party. And you'll see how we do it right there. And we talk about it there. But we're probably going to elaborate on that again in another training session. That's going to be specifically directed towards social media and be able to show you how that works on all the different platforms, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, I personally am not somebody who does Twitter, but I do Facebook. I'm not as proficient at it as some people, but I can still get everything done on there and do pretty well at it. So it is it's a great platform. The only thing you have to do in regards to the Facebook party is you have to create your own business page and create your events on that business page. It cannot be on your personal Facebook site. It has to be separate. And then, so what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to go ahead and put that in there.
And I also have a Facebook page right now personally, if she wants to go look at mine and see.
And go ahead and tell her what that is, Jen, okay?
Huh?
And go ahead and tell her what that is.
Basically, I just started up a Facebook page. You create it. You just basically put in your information, just like your website link. It's very easy. Facebook makes it really easy to set that up. Like they pretty much give you basic instructions how to do everything. But if you want, I can type in the comments my Facebook link so you can check it out on my page.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, go ahead and put that in there, Jen, and then Jessica can take a look at that, and Debbie can take a look at that as well. I know that she had some questions earlier about that, and I didn't get a chance to call her back, but I think that she talked to Tracy some on that. So, any other questions, Brian? Anybody? Okay, and so we'll move on. I'll answer that question on there, and then I'll put a couple other ones up there if anybody has any after they watch the thing. So, so I'm going to wrap this up here a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we went over here so far. And so, understanding that the key to success is to master the most important resource, and that's our time. Like I said, we're commodities, each and every one of us. You know, we're going to have our ups and downs in value, and you know, we're going to feel good one day, we're going to feel poor another day, and things. But our goal is to be efficient with our time and to get up into the 67th percentile range in efficiency. People are like, well, what does that mean? Well, that means using and utilizing all the tools that we have available to us for multiple streams of income, and making sure that those are working for us that 67% of the time. And remember, we're going to be sleeping another portion of that. And so with a little bit of time in there, we can be doing all sorts of things, spending time with our family, doing lots of stuff. You know, but we have to be efficient with our time and utilize that resource, because guess what? We can't manufacture any more time. All right? That's the only thing that we cannot increase or decrease. And nobody can put a value on it, but we can define it by what we do. Okay? That's the key. We can define time by how we use it. Understanding the shopping habits of your customers is going to be very important. How to direct them towards finding the best sources or outlets for their sales. Whether you find people that just love shopping online, they're going to be the ones you're going to be sending to your website. They're going to be the ones you're inviting to your Facebook shows or your Instagram, Pinterest shows. You know, then you're going to find other ones that just thrive on social interaction and love having people in their homes. And those are the ones you're just going to go and do a show for them. And you're going to go to their home, and you're going to have the parties there and the shows there, and you're going to create a great dynamic there and open up the door for a lot of other shows. And I'll tell you, that's really where you want to start. You really want to do kind of everything, you know. But I'm going to love watching you guys blossom with this, because I'm excited from my end, you know, because being involved in this before in the past, and then now being on the front end of this, and really trying to make sure that you guys have all the tools you need and to be successful. You know, we'll be there for you. If you guys don't know Brian is my partner in crime on the website. He does all of our web administration, and he handles all of the things that you guys might have questions on when it comes to the web. And he's great at what he does. And so one of the other things I'll talk about in the shopping habits is Brian and I have been discussing our email options and things that you guys can use to drive traffic to either your website, and also to do online invitations for all of your events and shows that you might be doing in home. And we want you guys to be able to do that. And so Brian and I have come up with probably the best possible option for this, and that's to create your own MailChimp account. You go into MailChimp and use MailChimp's free setup. You get a bunch of different themes in there that you can use for your show emails. You can populate your customer list and email addresses in there yourself. And then when you're going to do a show, a personal invite, if they send you emails, you get their permission. You get the host's permission to email them first and foremost, because they can always unsubscribe. But the nice part about MailChimp is that it's very reputable, and almost, I would say, the bulk of all email companies and email processors out there and mail POPs will accept MailChimp and not dump it into the junk files, okay? Because they have been around for so long and they are a reputable company. And so I did a mock one today and sent it to Debbie so she could get an idea of what that might look like. And she really liked it. She said it looked great. And there can be so many other things that you can do with it. You put your shop link on there for your website, and then you can mask that with a creative button to put shop now, and they'll go to your site and they won't even know it. That it's, it's a 300 character long, potential web address or something. And so the fourth thing here is embracing the power of three. Understand that concept is another key toward your success. Your effort equals your results. I was just talking today to somebody about effort. And I see, and Debbie and I have seen this in the past too. If you go and you see people that join a direct sales company or party plan or whatever, they some people get excited. I call them kit buyers. They get excited at the front end of this. They say, oh, I could do this. This is awesome. I love the product. And they never hear from them again, okay? Because something else will pop up that catches their attention. Now, that's the same car they're driving right now. It may have a different, steering wheel in it, or might have different looking tires, but it's still the same car. It's still the same vehicle that's going to get you where you want to be, all right? And I tell people a lot of times, when you buy a new car, you really might want to sit with it and use that car because it's brand new. Take the investment that you've made with it and make it happen. And I'm going to read what Debbie just put there. And Debbie said that I'm excited and would like each of you to email me your goals. Tell me how many shows a week you want to do, and I would like to help you make a plan to complete it. That's a great statement, Debbie. That's actually true. That's how you guys can take advantage of this right here as your time, all right? By setting some simple goals, that would be a great way of doing this. And here's the thing. Like I said, that vehicle you're driving is the same one that every other company has. It's a different vehicle, but it gets you to the same place. You've made the investment. Now put forth a little bit of effort and energy and be at the front end of this and get rewarded for your effort and energy. And make the kind of money that you deserve and because you're in control of what you make. And seeing the benefits of success and realizing that you can accomplish what you set your mind to can set you free from a lot of things. I've seen this happen to so many people where they've been depressed or been upset because the bills are due or something's happening in their world that might be causing them some grief or some stress. But they've worked hard at what they're doing and the companies that they've worked for. And I've known several women lost their mother and they just kept grinding and working hard with their company. And that was one of the most important things that they said to me was, if it wouldn't have been for company X, I don't know that I would have been able to handle the passing of my mother because, they kept me focused and everybody that I worked with were so, helpful and uplifting and so supportive of my loss that it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, but it wasn't that difficult. And I think that that's key too, is because you're also getting yourself in an environment where you're going to have camaraderie, you're going to meet people, you're going to have friends, you're going to be able to work together in this. Everybody's got the same goals. And, touching on time, shopping habits, the power of three, and realizing that they're all tied to your ability to get in front of people and to do two things. One, show them the value of our products and our company, and then try to sponsor them and do it. And I'll tell you, one thing Debbie is good at is sponsoring. That woman had won so many prizes and awards for sponsoring, and she would walk across that stage. It was impressive. And so, all I can say, guys, is, I appreciate you coming on tonight with me. My voice is still a little bit hoarse. And, I really am truly dedicated to making sure that each and every one of you are successful. I'm dedicated to making sure that you have the tools that you need to be successful. I am only a phone call away. Debbie is only a phone call away. We're here for you. We want you to be prosperous. And I hope that you learned something from this. If anything, about your time maybe, about how you can, you benefit from the power of three, or just meeting me for the first time or whatever the case may be. But I really do want you guys to understand that I truly believe in my heart, and because we own Saponify Naturals, that we have the best products on the market, best natural products on the market. And, we've been doing this for quite a while now. And we have a lot of loyal and dedicated customers. And I know you guys are going to do a great job. I want you to be, again, successful. We'll have these calls every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. And if anybody has a topic that they would like me to discuss or go over with them, I will be glad to do that. Just send me an email or Debbie an email, as we build these. And there's going to be some videos coming real soon of how to do a show, how to do some of these other things. But again, Jessica, just again to reiterate with you, if you watch that first training session, this is basically Saponify Naturals Training 101. It does take you through creating a party and then putting that link out there on Facebook and getting that up and showing people how to shop it. So again, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you guys go out there and do a great job this week. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.